Lost my job because I clogged the toilet during interview. I found an excellent job opportunity at this really nice office. Everything was going very smoothly. I had pretty much gotten the job at a previous interview and I was just in to fill out onboarding paperwork. I was so stoked because the onboarding questions were about accommodations I'd like at this job. Like, what kind of snacks should we keep on hand for you? What kind of caffeinated beverages do you like? All was going well, but I was offered coffee earlier and of course accepted it because I love free stuff. This coffee was so good and I drank it down really fast. So of course coffee did what coffee does, and before I knew it I had to use their bathroom. It was a really nice bathroom with poo-pourri and everything. I really was able to relax and let it all out. There was a whole lot of excess in my system that morning. I had been drinking a lot and eating party food all day before because it was the weekend. It took a lot of toilet paper for me to get my ass clean too. Well, anyways, I washed my hands and admired how nice the bathroom was before I left. Then I went back to finish my paperwork. Anyone notice any missing steps here? I forgot to flush my dookie. I was sitting on my computer filling out the rest of the paperwork when a female worker went into the bathroom. It's unisex, and I heard her exclaim, "Oh what the," from the bathroom. I immediately realized I was the last one in there. I looked at the door as I heard the sound of a flush from the toilet as she tried to get rid of it so that she could go. But I didn't hear the bowl clear, I only heard the bowl fill up with water. She was not happy. I watched her leave the bathroom and go whisper something in the ear of the guy in charge of the office. They had to figure out how to unclog it. There wasn't a plunger in there, so they went looking for one. When he went to take a look at the bathroom, the water was at the brim of the bowl, a yellowish-brown soup, cold and filled with globs of brown streaked TP. I was the only new person in the building, so of course everyone knew it was me. I tried to just pretend like I was on my computer the whole time and they didn't yell me or anything, they just dealt with it. A lot of the toilet water got on the bathroom floor and they didn't have a janitor in until that evening. I finished my paperwork, but they were really upset about the toilet, and the boss was not as friendly afterwards. I finished my paperwork, but I never heard back from them even after I tried to follow up. Story 2, an invitation I'm glad I turned down. While at a local bar years ago, I ran into a guy I knew from the fitness center I was a member of. We had a couple of mutual friends, so we had become acquaintances a few months prior. It was a Friday night and we were talking about each other's plans for the rest of the weekend. He mentioned he was going boating with two of his friends the next day. We lived in a coastal town on the Gulf of Mexico, so this was a common weekend activity. He said they were planning on going to one of the islands located offshore to spend the day fishing. He proceeded to invite me and said he was excited to introduce me to his other friends. As we talked about the plans, Elle asked him things like, what type of boat they had, what was the weather forecast, etc. After hearing that they were planning on taking a smaller sized bay boat out in the Gulf, that was really more suited to calm inland waters, and that the forecast was predicting afternoon gusts moving in ahead of a storm the next day, I started to become uneasy about accepting his invitation. We ended up having a few more beers before I told him that I wasn't going to be able to make the voyage with them. Later that weekend, on Sunday evening, I turned on the local news to find out that a boat had capsized out in the Gulf Saturday afternoon, and a search rescue team found two of the boaters clinging to the still capsized boat the next day. It was reported that the third member of their party had been swept away by the waves and was still missing. When they showed a picture of the missing man, I gasped aloud when I saw it was this new friend of mine who had invited me on that exact trip. His body was found weeks later, about 60 miles away. I still get a cold chill on the back of my neck when I think of this event and how close I was to being there with them. Alone and treading in shark-infested open water through the night is truly as scary as it gets.